Mexico's government will open bidding for 16 major infrastructure projects with $4.9 billion.
Even the U.S. is surprised by what's coming. Mexico is stepping up with a new $5 billion corridor that could challenge the Panama Canal's long-held dominance. For decades, the canal has been the main route between the Atlantic and Pacific. Now, Mexico's project offers a fresh alternative that could reshape global trade and shipping and beyond. Elon Musk even shares his view on this shift. What does this mean for the future of trade and travel? Let's discuss Mexico's new game-changing corridor, history of the Panama Canal and its role in global trade. Constructed in the early 1900s, the Panama Canal is one of the most important waterways in the world. It links the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans through a narrow strip of land in Panama. This canal was built to save time and distance for ships by avoiding the long route around South America. French engineers first attempted the project in the 1880s, but met many setbacks due to disease and harsh terrain. Later, the United States took over and completed the canal in 1914 at a cost of about $375 million, roughly $1 billion today. The canal quickly became a vital artery for global trade. It allowed ships to cross between oceans in a matter of hours instead of weeks. As international trade grew, the Panama Canal played a key role in speeding up maritime commerce. Goods such as oil, grain, and manufactured products moved faster and more efficiently. The canal also spurred port development and boosted the economies of many nations. Maritime trade depends on the canal because it cuts travel time and fuel costs. Large container ships, oil tankers, and bulk carriers use this route to move cargo efficiently. Over 10,000 vessels pass through the canal each year, carrying billions of dollars in goods. This efficiency has made the canal indispensable for global commerce. However, the Panama Canal now faces several challenges. One major issue is its limited capacity. The canal was designed for the ship sizes common in the early 20th century. Even after recent expansion projects to accommodate larger vessels, many modern ships still have difficulty navigating their locks. Weather conditions also affect operations. Heavy rains or droughts can slow transit and cause delays in global supply chains. Maintenance and upgrade costs further add to the strain. The canal requires ongoing repairs and technological updates to meet today's demands. High operating costs and technical challenges mean that any disruption can impact trade on a global scale. Reports show that during extreme weather events, the number of ships allowed through drops significantly. Over the past century, the Panama Canal has seen many upgrades to handle growing trade demands. In 2016, an expansion project was completed to allow larger vessels, known as New Panamax ships, to pass through. This increased the canal's capacity by around 30%. Yet even with these improvements, the canal still struggles to meet modern demands. Large companies and governments worldwide are watching these developments closely. They look for better routes as current limits cause delays and higher costs. Alternative projects such as Mexico's proposed corridor have gained interest in recent years. These projects offer faster transit times and higher capacity for cargo movement. With the legacy of the Panama Canal in view next, we'll turn to Mexico's new $5 billion corridor project. How will this modern route challenge the old maritime order? Mexico's new $5 billion corridor project. Mexico is taking a major step in global trade. The country has launched a $5 billion project to build a new transportation corridor. This project will connect the Atlantic to the Pacific through a network of modern rail lines, highways, and state-of-the-art ports. The corridor aims to provide a faster and more efficient route for cargo. It is designed to handle even the oversized ships that cannot use the Panama Canal. The new corridor is planned to stretch over 1,000 kilometers. Multiple rail lines will run alongside improved highways. At both ends, new high-capacity ports will allow cargo to move quickly from ships to land and back again. This comprehensive system is built to meet the demands of 21st century trade. The project is not just about trains, it is an integrated transportation solution. The plan calls for a complete overhaul of old tracks. Vegetation has been cleared, and new modern rails have been laid down. Mexico is using advanced technology to ensure the corridor works at high speed. The project also includes upgrading existing roadways to support heavy trucks. These improvements are expected to reduce delays and lower transportation costs. The goal is to create a seamless journey for goods from one coast to the other. Elon Musk has commented on this project. He sees it as a potential game changer for global trade. According to Musk, the corridor could shift trade routes and offer a strong alternative to the Panama Canal. He believes that a faster, more efficient route would lower costs for shipping companies and boost global commerce. Musk's remarks have drawn attention from industry experts and investors around the world. The corridor could have wide economic effects. Faster transport means that goods can be moved more quickly. This will help businesses expand their reach and increase productivity. For example, manufacturers could ship products to distant markets without long delays. Farmers and exporters may benefit from reduced transit times, leading to fresher produce and lower shipping expenses. In turn, the improved route might attract international investments. Some estimates suggest that the corridor could create up to 500,000 jobs in the region and attract significant foreign capital. Mexico's project is seen as a challenge to the old guard. For over a century, the Panama Canal has been the main route connecting the two oceans. However, the canal now faces capacity limits and weather disruptions that cause delays. The new corridor offers a backup option during these times, ensuring steady trade flows. It also provides an alternative for the largest ships that cannot pass through the canal's locks. By combining rail, road, and port facilities, the project aims to boost regional development. It will help lift the economy of a region that has long been underdeveloped. This ambitious plan is part of a broader effort to reposition Mexico on the global stage. The country is not just looking to revive old routes. It is creating a modern, integrated transportation network that could change how global trade operates. Let's listen to Elon Musk's perspective. What does he see in this corridor that could change the shipping game? Elon Musk's perspective on the corridor. Elon Musk has weighed in on Mexico's new corridor project, and his views are stirring conversation. Musk sees this project as a potential game changer for global shipping. He has noted that the corridor could signal the end of an era dominated by the Panama Canal. In his discussions, Musk has pointed out that the canal faces limits. Its capacity struggles to keep up with modern trade demands, and seasonal weather often disrupts operations. In contrast, Mexico's corridor offers a modern, flexible alternative that could meet the needs of today's shipping industry. Musk has mentioned in interviews that the new corridor may change the way cargo moves between oceans. He has said that a faster, more efficient route would lower costs for shipping companies. This, in turn, could shift investment strategies around the world. According to Musk, the corridor may force companies to rework their supply chains. He believes that a system that combines rail, highways, and modern ports can deliver goods quicker and more reliably than the old canal route. Musk has pointed out that this shift in trade routes might also lower risks for investors and open up new markets for global commerce. He has compared the new project to other modern transportation systems that have changed industries. Musk has stressed that technological improvements and better infrastructure lead to lower costs and higher efficiency. The Panama Canal, while historic and important, now shows its age. It struggles to handle the largest ships and often faces delays due to weather extremes. Musk argues that Mexico's corridor, built with 21st century technology, can handle larger volumes and more varied cargo. This could reduce bottlenecks and improve overall trade flow between the Atlantic and Pacific. Musk also mentioned that the corridor might shift global investment patterns. He noted that investors are always on the lookout for innovative projects that promise faster returns and lower risk. The new corridor may attract billions in international investment, similar to other major infrastructure projects in the past. He believes that if the corridor succeeds, it could create a ripple effect in the shipping and trade industries, prompting other countries to modernize their systems. This, he suggests, might lead to a realignment of trade routes and further pressure on the Panama Canal to upgrade its facilities. Elon Musk sees this project as a wake-up call for the old guard. He emphasizes that relying on outdated infrastructure is not enough in today's fast-paced world. The corridor represents a new era in transportation where efficiency and speed are paramount. His views have sparked discussions among industry experts and investors, many of whom now see the corridor as a strong competitor to the canal. Musk's perspective challenges long-held assumptions about global trade routes and encourages a closer look at new innovative solutions. Elon Musk's insights add a new layer to the story. Time to examine the economic ripple effects and market shifts that this corridor might trigger. Market shifts, how the corridor rewrites global trade. The new corridor is set to change global trade and shipping logistics in many ways. It will alter supply chains and shift resource prices across borders. Companies that depend on key materials like rare earths, lithium, uranium, and titanium may face new costs. Trade routes could be redrawn as cargo flows change. Some experts compare this shift to a sudden change in a high-stakes deal, where one move forces everyone to find new partners quickly. One major effect will be on supply chains. Shipping companies that have relied on the Panama Canal may now choose Mexico's corridor instead. With a faster route, goods can reach their destinations more quickly. This means transport costs may drop and delivery times shorten. As companies adjust, new contracts and agreements will form. For instance, estimates suggest that the project could create up to 500,000 jobs in the region. Investment in the corridor is set at $5 billion, a figure that has attracted global attention. The change in trade routes may also affect the prices of raw materials. When supply chains shift, demand for certain resources can spike. In some markets, prices for key minerals have already started to change. Recent reports show that prices for rare earth elements have risen by about 5% due to supply uncertainties. This increase puts pressure on industries such as electronics, defense, and renewable energy. Buyers may have to pay more for components used in high-tech products. The corridor is also likely to impact global shipping logistics. With improved routes and modern infrastructure, the corridor offers a reliable alternative to the Panama Canal. This could lead to a reordering of global trade flows. Countries in Asia, Europe, and the Americas may adjust their import and export strategies to take advantage of the new route. Some analysts believe that this move may reduce shipping delays and lower overall transport costs in the long run. For example, if ships avoid long detours, fuel consumption could drop by several percentage points, lowering the cost of goods. The effect on global trade is not limited to transportation costs. A change in supply routes may force companies to review their entire production processes. New agreements could form between nations that now see Mexico as a key trade partner. Investors will watch closely as these shifts influence market stability and growth. Global stock markets might react to new trade patterns, and currencies in resource-rich countries could see fluctuations. Our next focus should be on geopolitical changes. How might this corridor reshape alliances and power balances in the region? Let's look at the chessboard. Power plays in new alliances, redefining regional influence. Mexico's new corridor project is likely to reshape alliances and power in the region. The project has not only economic, but also political consequences. Countries in Latin America, the EU, the US, and Russia are watching closely. This change may force them to adjust their strategies and work together in new ways. In Latin America, many nations see Mexico's move as a chance to boost regional trade. Countries such as Brazil, Chile, and Colombia could join forces to form stronger economic ties. They may work with Mexico to secure stable trade routes and reduce reliance on older passages like the Panama Canal. This shift could create a more unified Latin American trade bloc that stands stronger in global markets. The EU is also paying close attention. Leaders like Ursula von der Leyen and Emmanuel Macron have noted that new trade routes can shift the balance of power. The EU might strengthen ties with Mexico and other Latin American countries to secure access to critical materials. This new alliance may help diversify European trade networks. At the same time, reducing dependence on Russian resources remains a long-standing goal for many European nations. The United States is re-examining its policies in light of these developments. U.S. officials have expressed surprise at Mexico's initiative. Some in Washington worry that the new route could challenge American interests in global shipping. Others see an opportunity to work more closely with Mexico and Latin American allies. This could lead to new trade agreements and stronger partnerships. The U.S. may adjust its strategy to support a more diverse and resilient supply chain in the region. Russia faces a significant setback. Moscow long planned to profit from resources in Ukraine and surrounding areas. With Mexico asserting control over this new corridor, Russia's strategy may lose a key pillar. Russian President Vladimir Putin and other officials have built their plans around a steady income from these materials. Now, with fewer resources available to fund military and economic goals, Russia may be forced to change its approach. Recent policy discussions at international forums reveal that this shift is already sparking debate. In meetings held in Brussels and Washington, experts have discussed how Mexico's corridor could change regional power balances. They note that new alliances may form quickly as nations try to adapt to a changing trade landscape. For example, European countries may increase their collaboration with Latin American nations, while the U.S. could seek closer ties in the region. Such changes might set a strong precedent for other nations facing similar resource challenges. Now that we've seen the evolving power dynamics, let's put light on future scenarios and fresh insights. What long-term trends might redefine global trade and shipping? Looking ahead, future trends and trade realignments. Recent reports and case studies shed new light on what may come next if Mexico's corridor shifts the global trade landscape. Analysts from Reuters, Bloomberg, and leading trade journals note that digital tools and improved data systems are changing the way resources are managed. New monitoring and processing systems help companies lower costs and boost efficiency. These trends may set the stage for a new era in global shipping and trade. One future scenario is that Mexico's corridor will force a major realignment of shipping routes. As the corridor offers a faster alternative to the Panama Canal, shipping companies may start using it instead of traditional methods. This shift could change the flow of cargo between the Atlantic and Pacific. Investors might see increased value in regions served by this new route. Some experts estimate that up to 500,000 jobs could be created in the logistics and transportation sectors, while foreign investments might reach $50 billion over the next few years. Another possibility is that the corridor will drive innovation in resource management. European countries and other key partners are testing projects that combine renewable energy with modern extraction techniques. These efforts aim to secure a steady supply of critical materials such as rare earths, lithium, uranium, and titanium. With these new methods, nations may reduce their dependence on traditional sources. Policymakers in the EU and the US are already discussing measures to support these innovative practices, which could lead to more stable and sustainable trade networks. Economic factors also point to a changing landscape. Traditional shipping routes are facing rising costs and capacity limits. The Panama Canal, despite recent expansions, still struggles with seasonal disruptions and congestion. As new technologies lower costs in the corridor, global trade could become more competitive. This competition may lead to lower prices for consumers and help stabilize markets. In addition, shifts in supply chains could force companies to rework long-term contracts and adjust their production strategies. New trade agreements might emerge as countries look to secure better deals under these new conditions. Technological progress is another key factor. Advances in automation and digital monitoring allow companies to respond more quickly to market changes. Data-driven insights now help predict trends and optimize supply chains. These improvements can reduce the risk of disruption and make global trade more resilient. As nations adopt these technologies, they will be better prepared for sudden shifts in the market. This enhanced adaptability is likely to influence investment strategies across industries. Policy trends also play an important role. New regulations in Europe, Asia, and North America are under discussion to support local industries and reduce reliance on unstable sources. These policy changes may lead to a more balanced global trade system. Governments are expected to introduce measures that support sustainable practices and encourage investments in alternative trade routes. We have explored Mexico's $5 billion corridor and how it challenges the long-standing dominance of the Panama Canal. With trade routes shifting and global markets reacting, the future of shipping could change forever. What are your thoughts? Comment below, like this video, and subscribe for more fascinating updates on global trade and economics.